5-minute salute. I'm your host, Chris Budihas, and joining me virtually is Eric Bohlen in Raleigh, North Carolina with eNeura. Eric, how are you doing?
How you doing? Great. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for connecting, number one, and then coming on to talk about your military journey into what you're doing now in your post-military career. So where are you from, and what you do in the military?
Well, I'm from North Carolina originally. Grew up just outside of Charlotte. Went to University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and realized that I didn't know what I wanted to do, but came from a family of service members. So I went ahead and joined the military while I was in college. Decided that I wanted to stay in North Carolina. I'm terrified of heights, but I figured the only way I'm going to stay in North Carolina is to join the airborne. And then spent the majority of my time down at Fort Bragg with a couple of stints abroad as a Stinger missile platoon officer, Stinger missile executive officer, and the deputy chief of protocol for the 18th Airborne Corps.
Wow. And I know which one was probably the most stressful job out of all the three of those.
Yes, yes, sir. It was one of those things. When are you ever going to get paid to jump out of an airplane?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, a great opportunity, and no doubt serving there at Fort Bragg, now Fort Liberty, was rewarding.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, so when you were leaving service, did you visualize getting into the sales role, or is that something that just come about, then you kind of latched onto?
Well, I didn't. I never would have guessed. I was a biology major, so I imagined I would be going into research. However, the idea of being cooped up in an office, a 9-to-5, sort of dissuaded me from that. So I just got this impetus to go into sales, maybe do a little medical device, pharmaceuticals, something related with biology.
Yes.
And just figured out how to do sales and kind of went from there. So bounced around between medical device, capital equipment, pharmaceuticals, and haven't looked back since.
So talk to us a little bit about eNeura. So who is eNeura and what do they do?
So I've always been lucky in the sense that here in North Carolina, there's a lot of military installations, VAs. So I've always had the opportunity, even after the service, to work with not only veteran patients, but the providers for them. And it's always been my favorite place. I sort of joke that it's because I can speak the language that I happen to do so well in there. But it's also because it's an opportunity to give back and go that extra mile and feel like I'm contributing. But I overheard some conversations about research into a brand new device for these TBI and PTSD and migraine patients. And the more I learned about it, it wasn't a company that had really been established. It was more of a startup. I began harassing the leadership because I wanted to give up everything in my safe environment and come on over and be able to bring this technology to patients, because it was really impacting how well they were treating the TBI and migraine patients, which we know is a contributor to our suicide problems.
Is it more on the pharmaceutical side or treatment?
It's actually a transcranial magnetic stimulation. So it's a device where in the past, patients would have to go to a clinic 4 to 6 weeks every day to have magnetic pulses to stimulate their brain to fix the underlying neural dysfunction. Well, now they got this into a device that we can send home with patients so they can treat themselves. And whenever they need it for migraine pain or whatever their doctor would prescribe it, they can actually treat themselves in the comfort of their home. So it kind of empowers them to not have to take some risky medications, because over-medication is such a concern in the military, the VA, that it gives them a different way of treating the underlying symptoms without referring to just another medication.
Wow. And is eNeura kind of in the beginning of rolling out into the VA or other healthcare systems, or are you guys well established right now?
Yes, sir. So we are rolling out, I guess you could say that. So the VA has typically just given the patient population. That's where the Headache Centers of Excellence had done a lot of the research into the concept of transcranial magnetic stimulation, which again is just magnetic energy delivering pulses. So it's non-invasive, it's painless, but they've identified that in VA patients specifically, given the damage from blast injuries or concussions, this offers a way to be able to fix the underlying neural circuitry that is contributing to the problems. So they already use it for mental health aspect. Now we can get the indication and target the pain and the migraine aspect in those same patients.
Wow. Eric, that's truly fascinating, and no doubt has an impact. I look forward to seeing this technology rolled out across the nation, if not internationally. So, number one, thanks for your service to the nation. And then number two, thanks for what you're doing in your post-military career. No doubt having an impact to a lot of folks that need this form of treatment. So I appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Have a great day.
Folks. Yeah, you too. Have a great weekend. All right, folks, if you like what you saw, like what you hear, please share us, LinkedIn with us on, or connect with us on LinkedIn, and we'll see you at our next episode.